all season, actually, since last season, what was said about the New York Jets? When you bring somebody like Aaron Rodgers in, there's expectations. And especially when you're an organization that hasn't had the highest of expectations, when you bring somebody in the caliber of Aaron Rodgers, your expectations, whether warranted or unwarranted, raises exponentially. And I said this last year, and I also said this when I did my AFC East preview. I said this after game 1, and I'm saying this now. Whether realistic or unrealistic expectation, the Jets, in their mind, think that they're a Super Bowl caliber team. And rightfully so. When you look at the roster, when you look at some of the names that they have, I wouldn't be upset if people thought, or people still think, they're a Super Bowl caliber team. With all those expectations, you can't falter. Because if you falter, and we've seen this in almost every sport, blame has to be put somewhere. And with the Jets now being 2-3 and losing to the now 5-0 Vikings in London, there's no question that the Jets have looked bad. Hasn't looked like the team that they may have thought they would be or what they were projected to be. They haven't looked like that majority of this season. And albeit you can say it's early, but you knew that fingers were going to be pointed. And yesterday, Tuesday, it was announced that Robert Saleh, the head coach, now the former head coach, was fired. I'm not here saying that Robert Saleh was the perfect coach. I mean, he had a 20-36 record. So obviously he wasn't, Bill Belichick. He wasn't the great coach that, some people may have wanted to peg him to be. And I even said it going into it. I said, if this season does not end the way that the Jets organization may think it should end, there's going to be some major changes. Silly me, I didn't think those major changes were going to come after week 5. Like I said, I like to speak about what we know. I like to speak about tangible things. So what do we know about this Jets team right now? Statistically, they're not that good. Now, you can say it's because of Robert Saleh. And I'm not going to say that Robert Saleh, like I said, is the shining light in the darkness that is the Jets right now. But you'd be a fool if you think that the issues that the Jets are going through right now lay solely on the feet of Robert Saleh. Shocker alert. Who would have thought that a quarterback that is, I think, 41 years old, coming off of a season-ending Achilles tear a year ago, hasn't looked good through the first 5 games of the season? I will give credit to where credit is due with Aaron Rodgers. It is incredible that Aaron Rodgers has built his name up to be on this level that he, albeit probably shouldn't be, but when you hear the name Aaron Rodgers, there's a level that he's played to that It's almost unfathomable to think that he is not there anymore. It's almost unfathomable to think that the Aaron Rodgers that we saw in Green Bay, that we saw won a Super Bowl, that has been pegged one of the greatest throwers of the football in NFL history, it's almost blasphemous to admit that he is not the same Aaron Rodgers, a 41-year-old player, a 41-year-old quarterback that had a major lower leg injury a year ago is not the same player that can elevate you to new heights. Look, I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers can't be the Aaron Rodgers that they need him to be. What I'm saying is through the first 5 weeks, Aaron Rodgers has not been good. He's been okay. He hasn't been good. The issue is okay is not good enough in the NFL. Excuse me. The issue is okay is not good enough when you have Super Bowl aspirations. Like, where is the connection with him and Garrett Wilson? Why has that not blossomed? Why is it that the Jets are one of the worst teams on third down? Why is it that the Jets that have two incredible running backs, why are they one of the worst running teams in the league? I'm going to say it. What's shocking to me, actually, is not as shocking to me. But what is sad and what shows you, and what is a clear indication that the Jets are not ready for the expectations that they think they should be on, the expectations that they have for themselves. The Jets, with all the talent that they have on the offensive side, they're one of the worst offensive teams in football with an Aaron Rodgers. Yet and still, you fire Robert Saleh, but you leave Nathaniel Hackett, who is widely considered one of the worst offensive coordinators in football. But the Jets organization comes out and say that they didn't consult with Aaron Rodgers before firing Robert Saleh, which is, they kind of did Cuz dirty, bro. They escorted him out of the facility without even allowed to talk to the team and personnel. So you're telling me your weakest unit is the offense. You have damn near an elementary type scheme with a quarterback that is aging and hasn't clicked yet for him. Yet their offensive coordinator is still there in Robert Saleh, the head coach. You know what? Colin Cowherd said it, and I agree wholeheartedly. Again, I'm not saying that Robert Saleh was the best, but one thing I am saying is, if we're talking about if we're talking about something intangible, Robert Saleh has proved to be the best capable coach on that coaching staff. Yet he's the one that's gone. Mind you, when we talk about the Jets, what is the one thing that we say constantly? Their defense is still elite. Robert Saleh is a defensive coach. What also do we say? Their offense sucks. Well, whose job is that? Nathaniel Hackett. I sort of drank the Kool-Aid. When we were talking about the AFC East, I said that I had the Jets winning the division. And what's even crazier about this whole thing is the season isn't over. Now, obviously, it's not over, but the Jets, when they play the Bills on Monday Night Football, they're playing for first place in the division. And you fire a head coach before that? Expectations for me change once new information gets processed. Sometimes I can feel stronger about the expectation. Sometimes I feel weaker about the expectations. going into this season, I had very high expectations for this Jets team. But not only does this firing change a lot of my expectations, but the way that they've played and essentially who you're putting blame on shows everything, everything you need to know. I don't know if I said this last episode, so if I didn't, I apologize, but I knew going into week 5, this game was the most important game of the season. Not because you're going to London and you're playing against a 5-0 team, a 4-0 team at the time. You didn't know they were going to be that great going into the season. I said that this was the most important team most important game because you're going against Sam Darnold, who used to be a Jet. Woody Johnson used to be the ambassador of the UK, who is the owner, for people that don't know who Woody Johnson is. So I'm not saying that you had to lose. You had to win, but what I'm saying is you can't look bad. And what do you know? The offense looked terrible. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions. This was the first game. Garrett Wilson had a good game, 13 receptions for 101 yards. But this is yet another time where Breece Hall, the running back, didn't do anything. I think that he had 9 carries, I believe. So you knew the last thing you could do was make the Jets you didn't want to make the Jets organization look bad, and they looked inferior to a Vikings team that nobody thought was going to be as good as they are, and for that, I give all the credit in the world. But to sit here and fire Robert Saleh 5 weeks in, when you are in position to be number 1 in the division, come next Monday, really shows you all that you need to know about this situation. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.